Hi there, my name's Jeff. I live on a 32-foot fiberglass McWester that was made in 1972, and when I first bought the boat I did have a headlining issue, shall we say. It's a common problem with old fiberglass boats because they all had white PVC stuck onto the bare fiberglass, and the problem being that the white PVC had a very thin layer of sponge which was used to add a bit more insulation or something, I don't know. But the problem is the sponge disintegrates and turns to a sort of brown dust, and so the glue has nothing to stick to, and so all the headlining sags down. I guess if you guys are looking at this video, that's probably happening to your boat. So my solution to this was, because I didn't really want to take it all down, I took some pieces down, but the mess was absolutely horrible, and I don't know, it was just so dusty and horrible. I didn't know what to do. I tried gluing some bits up and it just didn't work. I guess the proper solution is to pull the whole thing down and scrape it all back down to the bare fiberglass and re-insulate it. And it's a major job, and a very unpleasant job. So what I came up with was to leave the original headlining up, put some wooden strips up, just little thin wooden strips on all the corners, and then get a staple gun. And before I stapled it up, I slid in closed cell foam, which is what you'd use for camping, which doesn't absorb any water and it's very good at insulating. So once that has slid in between the headlining, then I got the staple gun and stapled it all up, rather like you would be upholstering a chair or something. And so that method requires no glue and not completely taking down the headlining. So I did all of that, which took a long time, and I was sort of reasonably happy with it because the closed cell foam more or less stopped condensation. But one day when I'm walking around in B&Q, I'm looking, how can I use that's going to make it nicer to look at and to live with, and what I came up with was what's wrong with good old-fashioned wood. It's insulating, it's nice to work with, it's just a nice material. So wandering around B&Q, I found that they did this stuff which is called pine cladding. Now this is very thin and it's very stiff, so when you're sort of holding it up, it doesn't take an awful lot to hold it up. You've also got obviously a groove and a tongue, and in this particular type you've got like a false groove here, so it gives the feeling of like you've got two layers on there, which I like, or you can just have it just plain. So I bought myself 5 lengths of that, which was about £5 or £6, and decided to make a start on what seemed to be like the easiest bit, which is the arch up here. So let's go and have a look at that. Okay, so it's an arch, so it's more or less holds itself. All that's holding it up is that piece of wood there, and a small screw there, a small screw there, and this bit of wood up here, and that's it. So I lived with that for a week or so, and I thought I really like it, lying in bed looking at that lovely wood. So I decided to carry on and do this part. Well, this used to be curved, but now it's at right angle, which doesn't seem to be a problem. Again, it's just held up with this batten here and that batten there, and of course that holds it up as well. So then I've decided to do around the windows. I've got the curtains drawn because it tend to get white out with the camera, but what I've used is some white plastic with one edge on it, and these are double glazed incidentally, just to stop condensation and keep me warm. Yeah, so just that white strip, and that goes around the bends fine. There's very little screws. I've got a couple of screws there holding it down, but then again it's just held there. So I've gone underneath the hanging knee there, and then all the sides of the boat were carpeted, which was always going damp and horrible. So what I've done is I put closed cell foam behind the wood and then put the wood on, and that keeps lovely and dry. So then I'll just draw the curtains here, otherwise I won't be able to see a thing. So I've done this side of the boat and all under there, all the way down through. I mean, it's a fiddly job, but it's quite nice. It's much better than working with carpet and glue and everything. So up here we've done this part, and we've done here, and I've done the head. That's all done, all around the porthole. And then we come into the forecastle. Again, what I've done here is that is all closed cell foam behind there, and all nice and dry and warm, all up in there. That's the chain locker behind there, and all around here. Now, some years ago this whole area was sagging all over the place, so I pulled the whole lot down, so I know what a nightmare it is when you take it all down. And what I put this up with was there's closed cell foam behind it for insulation, and then all around here is thin strips of wood, which I've used the stretching and staple gun method, so there's no glue actually holding it up. I haven't had the heart to take it down because it nearly killed me off getting this done, especially all around the windows and everything. Very tricky job, and I'm thinking there are so many curves and things that I'm not actually going to do that in wood unless I feel going crazy someday. Anyway, if we go on through the boat here, go to this part of the boat, as you see I've done all of this. Again, just held up here and held up here and there, that's all that's holding it. Even gone around the porthole, and because it wasn't quite perfect, what I've done is used a bit of rope to cover up any mistakes. That's a bit of a mistake. Okay, so now we're done all down in here. This was always a nightmare, dampness, but that's all done now, and that seems to be working out fine. And then we've got my galley. I've done all under there, and around there, and up around there. So that's about it. A couple of years ago I made this galley, and I made this of heavy floorboard type material that comes ready varnished, and what happens is in the depths of winter this will all condensate because it's been varnished. So it gave me a good clue not to varnish any of this, but to leave it bare, and in leaving it bare it's very easy to maintain because like twice a year I get some bleach 50-50 with water and just wipe over it with a cloth and some rubber gloves, and that keeps it all nice and white and clean, and don't get any problems. And because it's just bare wood, it's no condensation at all, and keeps it lovely, warm and cosy. Okay, right, so that's basically it. Apart from to say the best bit of it all is that you can do it one piece at a time, and you don't have to take off the old headlining, making a hell of a mess. There's no scraping down of all the old fiberglass and things. You just leave everything in place, and then if you sell the boat and the person doesn't like the wood, well, it's a very easy job to take it all down. So as I showed, there's hardly anything really solid holding it up. So you can take it all down and have the white plastic if you want, so you haven't devalued your boat in any way, and to my mind it's a really good solution and looks great and has fantastic insulating and no condensation problems. So if you're thinking about how to tackle your problem of sagging headlining, I think this is a thoroughly recommended way of doing it. Okay, well, I hope this is useful to you, and bye bye.